Webheads, guess what? They're mowing the lawn outside. That always pisses me off. Hey, lawn guy, I have some critical filmmaking over here that I must make. Can you lower it just a bit? Hey, all my webheads out there, welcome back to Comic Book Corner 2.0. And fans, I am your host, Mike Spider Slayer, always helping you make decisions on what comic books to buy. And today, guys, I am bringing you the top 10 comic book covers. Fans, this is week 43, and this is the only YouTube video series in the comic book community where you, the fans, get to vote on your favorite top 10 comic book covers based off of the ones I provide for you. So guys, thank you for the longtime viewers of this channel, and thank you for the new subscribers as well. So before we get started, guys, if you want to go ahead and hit that join button right there on my home screen, guys, it does help the channel, it does support me, and it also gives you, the viewers, a few extra perks. All right, guys, let's dive into this week's countdown, finding out who won week 42. Now, I think in the history of this video series, this had to be the closest one yet. Now, it was a battle between King Spawn issue 5, that, celebrating Halloween cover, and Gun Honey issue 4. All right? Those two wound up ending up as a tie. So, by the rules that I created from this video series from the start, the winner is determined who had the higher ranking in the video. And Spawn, or King Spawn, issue 5 was ranked 5th, and Gun Honey was ranked 4th. You cannot get any closer than that, so which means Gun Honey issue 2 moves on to that second round. So congratulations, Gun Honey. You pulled it out by the skin of your underwear. All right, guys. So let's dive into this week's countdown, kicking it off with number 10. Hold that thought, because now I have the recycling truck driving by. Gotta love the downside of filming in your garage. Anyway, we're officially kicking off this countdown now with number 10. And this number 10 cover goes to Task Force Z, issue 1. I thought this was kind of cool because it has, 3 of the main characters, I guess, that are going to be in this book that is getting ready to release this week. And this has zombified Bane, and it's got zombified Batman and Jason Todd doing battle against him. Pretty cool detail. The only downside to this cover, I feel like there's a lot going on and it's kind of dark and it blends together. But I thought it was still kind of cool and still worth the note for this week's countdown. So if you guys want to vote for this one, make sure you vote in the comments section below. Remember, guys, only one vote per person, okay? And you gotta write it in the comment section. It's not gonna count otherwise. And if you don't like any of the other top 10 books that I provide for you here today, you can always write your own in. It could start to trend and overtake the other top 10. Moving on to number 9. We have Spawn issue 323, cover B, done by Todd McFarlane. Now, I feel like this is a little bit different color scheme when it comes to Todd McFarlane's artwork here, but you gotta appreciate it. It's a very dark cover, even for a Spawn cover, where he's just got stabbed from the back with this long, gigantic sword, and he's like oozing out his Spawn blood. It looks pretty creepy. I loved it. He's just on his knee. He's also got something protruding through his through his quadriceps. I mean, it's just kind of weird, man. It looks awesome. I always love Todd McFarlane's cover art. So if you guys want to see this one move on to the next round, make sure you vote. So climbing up higher on the list, moving up to number 8. We've gotten a lot of these through the past month, but this one goes to Marauders issue 25, the Just Go Marvel Masterpiece, variant A. I love this cover. This is Scream's classic Bush-Up. Who's Bush-Up? Classic Bishop. And he's going through, his time warp or stream or wormhole or whatever it is that you want to call it. He's got his fist clenched and he's got that aura around his fist. He's got his cool gun and he's just screaming, "Oh, Bishop, I'm coming from the time to shoot you." I don't know what he's saying. That's just me coming up with something on top of my head. But I still think it looks pretty cool. So if this one is your favorite, let's go ahead and vote. Moving on to number 7, and you always gotta love Francisco Mantina variants, and this one goes to Deathstroke Incorporated issue 2. This time, instead of just Deathstroke's helmet on the cover, we get to see Deathstroke crawling away from which looks like Canary over here. So I'm kind of like, what's going on, or is he just on the ground, getting ready to fight somebody and she's behind him? I don't know. Nevertheless, the two characters look really good. I love the detail. And again, I love kind of like the fire burning in the background, so it kind of illuminates everything and does not make the cover so dark, which has always been my complaint when it comes to Mantina variants, or how they're so dark. Really awesome cover. If this is your favorite, let's vote for it. Now we're moving on to number 6, and I can actually appreciate this cover a little bit more, being that I was able to enlarge it on the computer and see the full scope of it. And this one goes to the Amazing Spider-Man issue 77, the Lucio Parello variant B. This one has Scarlet Spider, like Venomized Scarlet Spider, and he is jacked, dude. He is so huge, and I love the detail that goes into his hands. They're like claws. That tongue is like extra long. I don't know, the inside of him for some reason is on fire. I just love the over exaggerated mouth and teeth and eyes. And what really makes this cover is actually the background, which again, I did not notice this earlier until I enlarged it. As you get to see, the background has his face on there, so that kind of added a little bit of more dynamic to the cover itself. I thought this cover is really awesome. If I noticed that background, instead of me thinking it was just orange and yellow in the back, this could have been a little bit higher, but I really love the detail that goes into this one. So if this is your favorite, let's make sure you vote. So now we move on to number 5, and number 5 goes to Daredevil issue 35, the Mark Cicchetto main cover. I say this all the time when it comes to this series, is that his artwork truly, makes this book. The storytelling is good, but without his artwork, it's just not quite the same. And here on the cover, it's just awesome that he does the cover art on here, because you just get to see the scope of his work. And I love the lack of color in this one. It actually makes the cover pop a little bit more, as you just get to see a white background where you just get to see the red and black with Elektra, that crazy hair that he loves to draw on her, that over exaggerated hair, and she's doing battle against Bullseye. Looks like an intense battle. It's all heated. There's blood flying all over the place. Super awesome cover. Love his artwork. Glad to see him sticking around through these events that are getting ready to come out as well. Can't wait for it. If this is your favorite, let's make sure you vote. So now we move on to number 4. I don't know what it is about this cover, but I just like it. And this one goes to DC vs. Vampires issue 1, Kale New variant A. You just got this vampirized Batman, eating Harley Quinn or drinking out of her neck, or just about to. I don't know. It just looks awesome. And some of the covers that are getting ready to come out for this series look really good as well. There's a lot of them. It was hard to tell like which one would be my favorite, but I just like this one because these two are just such prominent characters in the Batman universe that it was just like, oh, it's kind of fitting that Batman's a vampire and he's going to eat Harley Quinn. So I thought it was awesome. Do like the detail. Love the logo on here. That's why I went with the non-virgin. So this one is pretty cool. So if you want this one to win, go ahead and vote. Number 3, I don't know what it is with me and cats, and I'll tell you this story in a second, but this one goes to Moon Knight issue 4, Arthur Adams Ultimate Comics exclusive variant. Now, I know this is an exclusive, however, I love this cover. I love Tigra on this cover. I love her pose. I love the eyes, and I just love seeing the character. You don't get to see too much of her. She's quite sexy on here, but what I also love about this is that old school 80s feel on there, as it pays tribute to, what was it, like those 25th anniversary issues where it had all the characters around it. It looks really good, but yeah, I don't know what it is with me and like cat women characters, right? I love Black Cat. I love Catwoman. I love Tigra. And it all started, I think, when I was a little kid. I used to like Thundercats, and there was something about Chitara that I always loved. And I think it started with her, like with this cat obsession with Catwomen ladies. I don't know, call it weird, but that's why this cover is probably a little bit higher than maybe somebody else's. But if you like it, make sure you vote. All right, so coming in at number 2, I love this cover. This one goes to House of Slaughter, issue 1, Javon Jordan trade dress. So this one is beautiful. You have Aaron here on the cover, and he's sitting above the House of Slaughter, or St. George, or whatever you call it, and you see all these chainsaws and swords and axes and blood dripping down, and this is just something that you would see from a movie poster. This is exactly the way it's designed as, right? And it's just like, ooh, House of Slaughter coming to a theater near you on October 31st. I mean, that's the way it looks, right? I love it. I love the detail. Everything about it is awesome. And again, for House of Slaughter, you pick your choice of variants here. There are a ton of them, but this is the one that stood out for me this week. So what was number 1 comic book cover? Well, sticking with the theme of Halloween, basically, this week, this one goes to Darkhold Blade, issue 1, the 1 in 25 Swan variant. My gosh, look at this cover. Is that Blade on there? If that's Blade as a vampire or whatever it is, or maybe just some other random vampire, whatever the case may be, it is awesome. The photorealism in this book is amazing. Look at the facial expression on if this is Blade or Vampire Blade. Look at his eyes. Look at the veins going up his forehead, the ears. He's holding that sword. It's got the emblem on it. The biggest thing here is look at how long those fangs are. Like if I was to see a vampire, that's the kind of fangs I would want to see in a vampire. Not that I would want to come face to face with one, but nevertheless, that would be the one I would want to see. I'd be like, dude, you look awesome. And then he eats me and I die. But nevertheless, dude, such a sweet cover. I saw this. I'm like, wow, amazing detail. So if this one is your favorite, guys, make sure you vote in the comment section below. And there you have it, everyone. There are the top 10 comic book covers of the week. Hopefully you enjoyed this. It's always important to vote, because you never know which one vote could make that all a difference between a win or a loss. So guys, please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to hit that bell so you don't miss any content from me. If you love the content, I did a couple videos over the weekend. You might want to check them out. And of course, guys, as always, keep buying, keep collecting, and keep reading those comic books. Guys, I'll see you real soon. Take care. Bye.